Well, it's a little early in the morning. Not something I normally do. Let's go on an adventure.
In about 6 miles, arrive at Cograilway.
We're here. So it's a little bit of change in outfit. I'm here at the lovely Cograilway up in New Hampshire. Could be And down here we had the maintenance shops and other locomotives that are going to be going out today. We have a steam train coming up. It's getting ready to go. That's to be the 9:30 ride. So they do have a little teeny tiny museum here. They have a 3D printed thing of the train, and have several exhibits here. One showing how the Cograilway system works. They created a couple of tips here to help with the very steep grades. And this is in the replica of the inside of the steam train that they have here. So, I don't really know much about the steam train for reality, but pretty cool stuff. And they have the double single, which is a real maintenance vehicle for people to get up and, or mostly get down when they were building this, and maybe as a sled, a very uncontrollable sled. And we're going up top.
But the biodiesel didn't happen overnight. By someone waving a magic wand.
Video playing.
Instead, it was all hands on deck, a ton of hard work, and a lot of
And here's a little bit of a timeline.
Cograilway from the past into the future without going off the rails. It was a challenge to design something new and working it out.
There's a little simulation of the Cograilway, but it's kind of interesting. And we got automatic switches, they got manual switches. Very, very cool stuff. So all I can do is now wait for the train to board. Look at that smoke. It's just starting up. It's not really moving yet. Wow. It's a little early in the morning. Not something I normally do. Let's go on an adventure.
In about 6 miles, arrive at Cograilway.
We're here. So it's a little bit of change in outfit. I'm here at the lovely Cograilway up in New Hampshire. Could be it. And down here we had the maintenance shops and other locomotives that are going to be going out today. We have a steam train coming up. It's getting ready to go. That's to be the 9:15, 9:30 ride. So they do have a little teeny tiny museum here. They have a 3D printed thing of the train, and several exhibits here. One explaining how the Cograilway system works. They created a couple here. It helps with the very steep grades. And this is in the replica of the inside of the steam train that they have here. I don't really know much about the steam train in reality, but pretty cool stuff. They have the double single, which is a rail maintenance vehicle for people to get up and, or mostly get down when you're building this, and maybe as a sled, a very uncontrollable sled. And we're going up top.
But the biodiesel didn't happen overnight. By some waving and magic wand.
Video playing.
Instead, it was all hands on deck, a ton of hard work, and a lot of
And a
cooperation.
little bit of a
To move the
timeline.
Cograilway from the past into the future without going off the rails. It was a challenge to design something new and go something new and working it out.
There's a little simulation of the Cograilway, which is kind of interesting. And we got automatic switches, they got manual switches. Very, very cool stuff. So all I can do is now wait for the train to board. Look at that smoke. It just started up. It's not really moving yet. Alright, there goes the diesel. So we got Armano, so I don't think I can pronounce that name. Built in 1875, and this was a earlier rendition of a steam train that was operated on the Cograilway. A lot of this was to get people up there for other purposes, but the nickname of this railway was the railway to the moon. So we what the video say. And this is a coal-powered steam locomotive. I cannot, as much as I wish I could sneak into the cab, I can't. Not allowed. There's some people doing some track work right now, but that's okay. Track work happens all the time.
They got stuck up on top of the mountain for 3 days in bad weather. Sylvester was an inventor, figured there's got to be an easier way to get up and down the mountain, so he proposed building a railway. He went to the New Hampshire legislature to get a charter to build his railway. About the only thing he got back from them was laughter. One of them even suggested, don't bother stopping when you get to the top of the mountain. Keep going till you get to the moon. You're crazy. It can't be done. Well, he went back to the legislature with a working model of a train that could climb, using the cog and rack system, just like we're using right now, and also using what he described as an atmospheric braking system. very similar to what our engine will do on the way down later. And they gave them the go-ahead. So we partnered with some of the local railways to get funding. They came up here in the early 1860s to start clearing the land. Actually started building the tracks in 1866. It was July 3rd of 1869 when we first started bringing passengers up the mountain. There used to be one just above the water tank.
Okay.
With a siding, and there was one up on top of the ridge with the siding.
Okay.
When I first started, I threw the one up on top of the ridge, the skyline switch. I threw check with his brakeman, then they'll proceed through. You're also going to notice that this train's coming down empty. The first train of the day goes up, drops their passengers off, leaves right away. The next train that goes up will drop their passengers off and take the previous train's passengers down. After this train gets through the switch, the engineer will stop. He'll use the control box on the other side to reset the switch for us. So we'll get to see that move across. Going to push that right across for us.
Oh, wow.
So please get ready, folks. We're going to be ready to move here. Again, get a look in the picture window. You'll see your reflection. It does look very similar to the Old Man of the Mountain. Unfortunately, if we get too close to it, we'll lose the angle on it. We'll start to lose the formation. As we come around this next bend up ahead, we'll be coming out on the Jake. As we go out across Jacob's Ladder, the front birch ravine on your left. Unfortunately, we still quite can't see the original Jacob's Ladder got blown over.
Keep going, keep going.
Right, that's coming up North Washington. And you have a bit of a stuff to do. So that's what to do. Fine, Port Summit. No there's something on Mount Washington. It's the only one thing you can do. It's not about being the king of the world, of course. So this will tell what the weather is right now. About 14.7 miles an hour winds. About 55, 53-ish. That's pretty interesting. Alright, so we are now at the Green Weather Museum. So we have some animals at Grammy. This is a no-cap trip virtual. And here is a video of some of the green weather. Here's a little holiday. In 1934, Eagle 12 says taking the operation at victory, but when weather of day's office could be lousy. So basically, spring storm equates to 75 to 160 miles an hour. A couple of 231 miles per hour. Holy cow. That is definitely windy. I wouldn't want to be there. Some more old photos of the observatory.
And his credentials, I mean, he was way overqualified for the position. He just had an interest in being there. He worked with the Soviets, joint U.S. Soviet.
Some plants. North Green Mountains. It's a mountain museum, so it is what it is. Oh, it's pretty interesting. And not a fan of big lines. I'm not gonna bother with taking an actual picture on the summit. I got close enough, so. As you can see, it's very foggy out. The visibility is near very low. You can barely see anything. So, it's one of those things. It is what it is. Barely see down the summit. That's how cloudy it is today. I think I chose the perfect time to come to the Mount Washington Cograilway, but I was hoping the rain would hold out. I was here purely for the train ride, not really here for the sights and the sounds, except for the sights and sounds of a train. Now, that is pretty wonderful, very interesting. And we should probably head back down and let's see where else I'm going. Maybe to Quark's Bears. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna do it for real if I can get this thing to be stable. I'm on top of rocks, so let's I can't do it here. I want to do the thing. Okay. So apparently this little rock structure here is the summit. Oh, we're gonna do it. Oh, King of the World or something or other. Titanic music here. Don't ask. It's like one of those obligatory things, but yes. So while we are here on the summit and we can get back to the track, so the metal chain like parts right there is where the cog, as you can kind of see under the train, attaches it. And that's how it looks like the blades. If that wasn't there, the train would not be able to make it. It would probably slipping, slide, and not go anywhere. So that's why the train kind of felt a little weirdly like it's been that crash, and the boiler kind of tells you that it's intentional. So that way they can thaw the boiler properly and not water that won't swat around, be a pain in the butt. So they do it every summer. They go over 1 ton, so that's over 100 tons of coal per year. So that's more coal than car number 100 from the Cograilway Railway on the short times. But all in a year. It's all coal for the factory. It's good. It's actually getting pretty windy too. So forgive the windiness of the audio or any bad audio whatsoever. It is a bit in a butt. Yeah, that's where we're going to be going now. So we gotta wait
The
for
fastest time for going down the mountain. Whoa. The fastest time for going down the mountain is 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It's okay. It's okay. There's nothing to worry about. We can beat that, right? Come on, we got a full coach here. Think about how fast we can go.
No arms.
Exactly. Right?
Let's stop
Yeah,
the body.
supposedly that was done on what was known as a devil's shingle or a slide board. I mentioned that they used to print the newspaper up here on the summit called Among the Clouds. To get the paper down to the valley nice and early, they'd drive down on a slide board with a stack of papers, and they could distribute the papers out to the local hotels as early as possible. So I mentioned the track's about 3 miles long. If you go all the way down to the shop, it's not quite 3.5. They made it down really in well under 3 minutes. There's even a few places along the way where it's quote unquote a little bit flat. That means on the steeper parts of the track, they're probably going somewhere over 70 miles an hour.
Good Lord.
No, thank you. No, thank you. That's my job. We will not be approaching that. Not if I can help it. I mentioned on the way up, we're going about 3 miles an hour. On the way down, we're really going to fly and go about 5 or 6 miles an hour. So put your harness on, pull it up nice and tight, right? Yeah, when we get back down to the base, if you look in our museum down there, you'll see one of these slide boards set up on a section of the track. Give you an idea what it might have been like. It's just a little wooden contraption. It fit right over the center cog rack. Had a little handle on it for a brake. Back then, the cog rack was mounted on one piece of wood, not two. So the angle line would hang over the edge of that piece of wood. When they pulled up on that brake handle, that's about all they were grabbing onto. It's just a little bit of that metal edge. So they were going entirely too fast. And they actually got outlawed back in the 1920s. They stopped using them because unfortunately a few guys didn't walk away. So yeah, no, we won't be going quite that fast. So on the way up, the engineer Eli was using steam pressure in the cylinders. That worked the piston back and forth, turned the gears, and he pushed us up the mountain. On the way down, he's going to be using air pressure in the cylinders. There's an intake on the boiler. That long straight pipe up on top is the exhaust air. There's a valve on that pipe, and Eli will use that valve to control how much air is being drawn into the cylinders, to control how fast the pistons are going, and help control the speed of the engine. So on the flatter parts, he's going to open that valve up, allow more air in, pistons can work more freely, and he can coast across the flats. On the steeper parts, he's going to close that valve almost all the way down, so only a little bit of air is allowed in. That'll slow the pistons down and help slow the engine down. Now I'm going to be up here working the brake wheels on the coach to control the speed of the coach and to try not to push the engine too fast down the mountain. Both of our steam engines are well over 100 years old. This one's closer to 150. It's from the 1870s. Back then, the coaches only held about 25 people. Well, we got a full 70 people plus on
don't
here.
build them like they used
It's
to.
really not designed to handle that much weight. Excuse me, I'm gonna let this train go by.
The electric train.
Like I say, I'm gonna try not to push into
Terrible idea.
So, next up is park bears or park trading posts, whichever you prefer. Taking one for the train ride. All the spirituals, all sorts of stuff here. Let's show the back here.
You can see the location of Tuttle's shooting gallery, where you can test out your marksmanship and review your findings. This is looking at. Up ahead here we have our famous rope line. We do use wood in our steam-powered locomotive, the Clemens, which was built in 1920 in Rory, Pennsylvania. Over the course of the day, we travel about 12 miles, use about half a foot of wood, and up to 1,000 gallons of water. And we'll soon be heading over to Howell Trust Covered Bridge. It was built in 1904 in East Montpelier, Vermont, for the Perry and Chelsea Railroad. The Clark family purchased this bridge in 1960, and they spent the next 4 years taking it apart, numbering each piece, and putting it back together here on the south side of the river. And using the 1.5-ton truck, they finally held it in place. This bridge is 120 feet long and weighs about 200 tons. And on top of this, it can support an additional 200 tons. So, as long as no one on the train leaves over 150 pounds or so, we should be safe deposit. Now, I am required to inform you that it is, in fact, New Hampshire state law, but you must scream as loud as you can over the entire way for a covered bridge. It's not to make the rules any fast, but it does have the sound of all those creaking timbers running nicely.
man.
dead end. So thanks for joining us and enjoy your free walk back. No, I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, I'd like to apologize for the attack on the train by the Wolfman, who's been chasing our trains for over 50 years now. But they're not even the Wolfman because there's a real man. So we hold all those letters and howls at the moon tonight. And we got his name about a dozen of the title Wolfman, so we figured the name Wolfman would get down perfectly. Now, unfortunately, in order to get back to the park, we will have to travel through Wolfman's territory once more. And if he scared you on the way out here, this is your chance to get even with him. And if he didn't scare you, well, you can have a little fun with him anyway. And the quickest way to get out of Wolfman's words is to squint your left eye and put your finger at him and yell, "Scram, you little goat," as loud as you possibly can. And when you're fast, on the count of 2, you're going to and then all 30 friends on the beach. Try our best. On 3. String you will go. Run in hand. 1, 2, 3. Kind of a close call. I feel like 12:30 was slightly louder than that. Sorry guys. But I will give you second place. Just remember to yell really loud when you see him. He's only got 1 arm. Now, if and only if you yell that loud enough, Wolfman will chase us all the way back to that covered bridge we went over at the beginning. So no need to worry. He won't chase us over that bridge because he is terribly afraid of heights. And he won't go under the bridge either because he's even more afraid of water. In fact, he is so afraid of water that he hasn't taken a bath in, well, decades, according to our sources. Which makes me glad that we're not traveling down the Vineyard. These are just people. We came up here to the end of the tracks fairly slowly, but now we're ready to find out our time. So as we head back to the park, we'll be picking up our speed a little bit. We'll be reaching speeds in excess of 50, 60, and even 70 yards per hour. So you might want to hold on. Now, without any further ado, the stranger will see his viewers and drop the bottle and back in the floor. And be sure to bring us back in time for that 2 o'clock circus show. It's the very last one of the day, so we don't want to miss it.
Heard you yell? I didn't hear you yell. No? Why not? That's fine.
I think we said it was
Yum. Oh yeah, yum.
So that was the train ride at Quark Trading Post, aka Quark Fair. There's a lot to see here. There's several museums and fair shows. I'm not that interested in the circus or the fair shows, unfortunately. Nor there isn't a lot I'm interested in at the moment. But there's one thing I want to see at the Mystic Manor. So let's go to that.
Is the room moving? I feel it moving.
Was this a real mansion? Was this a real mansion?
It's very claustrophobic.
Wow.
The walls moving.
Wait.
Welcome, Merlin's Mystical Mansion. Welcome to my home. I am, of course, Merlin. I would like to share my story with you, so you know how my life evolved. And how I landed here. I was found as a baby by Pierre and Penelope Cograilway, one poor summer day in Franconia. The Cograilways fell in love with me and adopted me. Recalling the legends of King Arthur, they named me Merlin. We slowly traveled around the world. The topic I couldn't learn enough about was lost civilizations. In fact, I discovered an ancient manuscript. It spoke of an awesome force known only as a gravity point. You see, gravity points allow smaller objects like ourselves to stick and cling to an axis like a magnet, and large things like the room to revolve. The manuscript also spoke of fiery red lights, like fireflies that would dance above the special spot. I was so intrigued by this gravity point, I searched the world far and wide until I found one, right here in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, not far from where it all began. After arriving here, I found that time stands perfectly still. So while inside, none of you will age a single moment. It seems I have found the secret to eternal youth. Today, I am away on a very important quest. Fortunately, my apprentice is here and will share with you some magic that I have taught them. Well, my new friends, be brave, always be nice, and enjoy. We'll see you around. Oh, that reminds me, if you have motion sickness, you should not go any farther. You there, yes you, please knock 3 times using that door knocker. Thank you. Please enter and go all the way down to my apprentice before sitting down.
Welcome to Merlin's Inner Sanctum. I'm here to warn you for a final time. If you have any second thoughts, now is the time to act upon them. From this point forward, there is no turning back. I'm going to lower the railing. Please sit up tall in your seat, feet flat on the floor if they reach. Wave goodbye to the outside world as you know it. You're about to experience the majesty, the magic, and the power of Merlin's world. Are we ready? Yeah. Hang on tight. Firefly! Well, I see we've all returned safely.
So we got some car collections. I love the boxy plate. Oh, it's a paddy wagon. I just booked the gas stations. So out of order right now. That's pretty much a miniaturized version of a Falcoma madhouse. Pretty much a fancy illusionary ride experience that makes you think you are actually going upside down when you're actually not. So there's a graphic art place. Japanese rooms for ice cream and some souvenir shops. We got pizza, homemade pizza, named after the Pullman car. We got Americana. We'll go in there. We got a bunch of history stuff. We got a bunch of model trains here. Information, director. We got one with a Pullman that's electric. We got Lionel. Automatic piano. Lights. Orchestron. Very nice painting. Probably early Clark. Bunch of old sewing machines, and you're seeing a couple of pop machines there. Got a horse racing simulator right there. Bunch of old advertising too. And compared to the and this is the fire engine house. And old fire engines, metals, apps, equipment. Very good. There's a circuit going on behind me, by the way. Got another orchestron, but a couple of them. There's a couple of motoscopes. Cameras. We got a bunch of old toys here. Got cars, some of the rail cars, railroad cars, and things over here. You can jump down there now. Go down there. Just
Oh, yeah. I bet you that's heavy. It is.
War games.
You got to pound on it. Yeah,
We got a bunch of old scale trains here, mostly from Lionel. We got some HOs here. And we got some old conductor and engineer uniforms. Sorry, swords, printers, not printers, typewriters. Get some music players. There's an old one there. I got a pinging, so I'm going to say I'm here out in the open. A bunch of, sorry, not a bunch, a couple of freight cars. RCMX, East Branch Lincoln Railroad. I do not know what RCMX stands for. And we got some benches with some on top of the old wheel axles. Wheel assemblies for the locomotive up wherever. There's the cookhouse.
Your attention, please. The train is now approaching the station. Please stand away from the tracks behind the yellow line. And all children are inside.
Make the rules here, folks, but it does hide the sound of those creaking timbers quite nicely. Provided you scream a little louder than that. Bunch of rock records, I tell you.
Mr. Conductor, get that in their finally get his house wiped that he's looking for.
I can't wait to send her this video.
That's hilarious. Excuse me.